part of that ruling party. Michigan Congressman Dan Kildee, Chief Deputy Whip of the House Democratic Caucus, with us now as they are still in session on Capitol Hill. All right, Congressman, I'll put this in terms that both you and I can understand. Monday morning, this looked like a 12-inch putt. And Friday afternoon, you guys are still on the green, and the ball's going back and forth. What went wrong?
Well, it was not really going to be that easy. It might have been a 12-inch putt for you, because I know you're a great putter. But for most people, it was a chip shot. You know, this has been tough. We have big differences within our caucus. We share the overall goal. But the president today, when we met with him, made it clear that in order to move forward, everyone's going to have to give a little. Progressives are going to have to give on the total size of the Build Back Better piece of this. The moderates are going to have to give in the sense that they'll have to wait until we can get the other piece put together, the Build Back Better Act, before moving forward on the bipartisan infrastructure deal. That's a compromise between Democrats that I think we can get to, but you know, this has not been easy. There's no question about it. It's been tough.
No, it really hasn't. It was interesting to hear from Dean Phillips when he really admitted some of us might lose our job over this vote, talking about moderates. Are there any moderates that you're talking to in the caucus who are up in 2022, obviously, in swing districts, that are secretly happy that they don't have to now vote for a $3.5 trillion spending bill?
Not so much. What I'm hearing from them is that what they're worried about is going home having not done anything at all. I think a more modest, as much as $2 trillion can be considered modest, a more modest Build Back Better Act.
I appreciate that you're admitting that. There's not many who will admit that $2 trillion is modest and smile a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's a significant thing. And even this is what I've been telling a lot of my progressive friends, too. Let's sort of all realize what we're talking about is a pretty substantial investment. A big investment in infrastructure, a big investment in some of the policies that Democrats have been pushing for a long time. And I think sometimes we get wrapped around our own sets of expectations as opposed to just looking at this and realizing, you know, this is a big, tough challenge. It's going to take a little give and take. You know, it's pretty hard for us to argue that we need to act in a more bipartisan fashion if we can't figure out a way even to bridge the differences within our own party. And that's what I've been pushing for.
Fair enough. This would be the question. Everybody says, oh, now we can take some time and negotiate and come together. What happened between thinking that this was something there was going to be a vote on Monday, and now all of a sudden we need more time? Debbie Dingell was on saying, I'm not even sure if this is going to happen next week. The president's saying, I'm not sure if it's going to be in 6 weeks. Was there a miscalculation? Did everybody think the progressives were going to cave and they just didn't?
I think the thing that changed is that until recently there was some lack of clarity on what the two Democratic senators, I guess I don't like the term, but call them holdouts, Senator Sinema and Senator Manchin, what they might be willing to accept. And what I've been frustrated with is that until now, this is more for Senator Manchin, been more willing to say what he opposed than be clear about what he would support. Now we know a little bit more about what he could support. That's the basis of the negotiation. So that really did change. That's one change. The other change, which I'm grateful for, and I've encouraged it, is that the president realized that if we're going to pull this together, he's going to have to be the one to do it. I think his inclination was to see if the House and Senate could work this out together as long as we were moving in the right direction. I talked to him on Wednesday night during the baseball game. We talked a bit about this, and I encouraged him to get as involved as he could. I'm not suggesting I was the one who tipped the scale on that, but I agree with him being more involved. I think that's a big game changer for us, too.
So far here, you've been both humble and modest and honest in this interview, which is something that never happens when you're interviewing members of Congress. I appreciate it. So we're going to give you one more question. You said you didn't like calling Manchin and Sinema holdouts. And this sort of brings up this question because there's a divide in your caucus among the progressives, and they don't now like the term moderate. This is Hannah Trudeau over at the Hill reporting that some options being discussed among progressives who are searching for consistency in a term because progressives attempts to purge the word moderate from the party's lexicon. Conservative Democrats, right-wing Democrats, corporate Democrats. Have you been called any of those? And if so, do you have a preference?
I've been called every name you can think of. I like to let people identify who they think they are for themselves. My view is I'm pragmatic, and we can have all sorts of ideology. And what I've suggested, and this is true in almost every debate we have here, bring whatever ideology you want to bring to the conversation. But if it's only going to be a conversation about your ideology and not an effort to practically resolve the differences between all of us and actually move the ball forward, then your philosophy is nothing more than a philosophy. And you can go off and be a philosopher. If you want to be a legislator, you got to figure out how to compromise.
Congressman, it's always refreshing to have you on. Thanks for making the time. Enjoy the night as much as you can, and the weekend as well, sir.
All right, Leland, thank you.
All putts this weekend within 2 feet are good, all right?
They're gimmies.
There you go.